The following program is brought to you by Podcast One Sportsnet.
DirecTV ha sido el número uno en satisfacción al cliente sobre el cable por 17 años seguidos. Pero aún así hay quienes les gusta el cable y también disfrutan que su pareja tenga dos pies izquierdos.
¡Oh! ¡Qué bien bailas!
Ser bienvenidos por la chancla.
Te extrañé, mamá.
Para todos los demás está DirecTV. Para el número uno en satisfacción al cliente sobre el cable, cámbiate a DirecTV. Llama al 1-877-278-1288. Comparado con los otros proveedores del servicio de suscripción a TV por cable. Declaración basada en encuestas CSA 2001 al 2017 de clientes calificando el funcionamiento de su propio proveedor de servicio de TV.
Direct from the heart of Lakers Nation, Podcast One Sportsnet brings you America's Lakers Podcast with Jay Mohr, the official podcast of the Los Angeles Lakers. Get the inside scoop without the gossip about your favorite team that lives up to the purple and gold standard. Here's your host, Jay Mohr.
Live from the underground.
Yes, back in the underground.
Aaron Larry Sewell, Jay Mohr, Corey Fry, nephew Jimmy,
Yeah.
ringside. What's up, buddy?
Jimmy Wheeler in the house.
America's Lakers podcast. We give it to you live and direct from the underground. No gossip, no what ifs. If I wish was a fifth, everybody in this town would be drunk. We don't do it that way, Aaron. We have data.
We do have some data.
Not great data for you, but I got a silver lining.
Okay.
And I think this team, as the Los Angeles Lakers, as you told our listeners and me about the Jeff Van Gundy quote, your best players have to play better more often.
Yes.
We would like to see them on the floor more often to prove it.
Also
I
true.
think our best players are a lot better than anybody realizes. And I really, even after a 5-game losing streak, maybe especially, I was angry about the loss, the Golden State Warrior loss, 127-123 in OT. And I was angry about people going, hey, we hung with them. Hey, man, this is the Los Angeles Lakers. This ain't Paul Revere Middle School. Like, good for you guys. They were seniors.
Is Paul Revere Middle School any good?
I don't know,
What's
actually.
their? You know what? I need to know, what is their mascot?
I don't know, but Crespi Carmelite Celt, that team is bananas, dude. That kid just signed with Arizona. There was a guy, 10-day contract on the Spurs. I don't want to hang with the Golden State Warriors. You got to put your foot on a neck and choke them out. If you're going regulation, you got to go for the win. If you're at home, I should say, in regulation. Denver was a mess. Houston was more of a mess.
Yeah, Denver was really a mess. It was a good game for a while, and then the Lakers kind of ran out of gas. Maybe the altitude had a little something to do with it. Ran out of gas at the end, and I think Denver finished on something like a 15-2 run, something like that, to end the game. So the Lakers ran out of gas at the end.
Same formula for each loss. Starters get off to a horribly slow start.
Yep.
The bench comes in. I'm not saying second unit because it's the bench. It's the bench mob. Remember that good old days?
I do remember the
Bobby
bench mob.
Jackson.
I do remember the bench mob.
One of my favorite players. The bench comes in, and I remember the announcer on the I always watch the opposing team's broadcast to hear their opinions.
Yeah, on League Pass, yeah.
And the Denver Nuggets guy goes, the Los Angeles Lakers bench with all 30 of the Lakers' last 30 points. I was like, maybe they shouldn't be the bench. Maybe those are your starters if they're the ones that are always taking the other guys and lifting them up.
Yeah, I mean, this is something we kind of harp on a lot, but it's because so far it has been strange. And it's one thing that's pretty easy to point out why this team maybe has not done as well as the talent might indicate that it should. So we keep talking about it because it keeps being – and I'm not even saying Luke is wrong. I'm just saying it is strange to me that they haven't settled on – this is what you do, player X, player Y, player Z, this is your role, this is your role, this is your role. Because we're now, a quarter into the year, and it is surprising to me that it hasn't been settled on yet.
Did I ever tell you my exercise I thought Luke should do with the players? On an index card.
Yes,
you
did, but say it again.
Did I say it here?
I think you did, but say it again.
On an index card, Luke takes like 15 names and writes 2 sentences or less, 1 sentence or less. What is that person's job on the team? Davies Caldwell Pope. Buckets, perimeter D.
Yes.
Dot. Right?
Yeah, that's it. That's what you need him
Brandon
for.
Ingram. Score, D, like whatever. Mm-hmm. Those aren't really sentences, but and then give an index card.
We'll make it phrases. That's fine.
Then go to, but it has to be specific.
I'm the English teacher around here.
No, I like it. Then you give an index card to each player and say 1 sentence or less. What is your role on this team? What is your specific job? And see which ones match.
See if they match up. Yeah.
Because I don't know if they're going to match. And I don't think Luke is wrong. I don't think Luke has put his foot down and made a definitive decision where he could be wrong. Like, how is that your starting five? How is that your guys off the bench?
Right.
At some point, Luke's going to hopefully to signal in the noises, I'm doing this lineup, and that's that.
Well, what was interesting was at the game last night as we record this, the Rockets game, and Julius Randle was the first guy off the bench. The interesting question, though, is was that because that's a direction that he's going, or was it because he thought that was best for the matchup? Right, he was scared the big guys were getting run off the floor. Lopez, his plus-minus was pretty good last night, but he was not good last night.
You know I'm not a plus-minus fan.
Right, so the question, though, becomes, was that matchup dependent? You thought Randall would do better against the pick and roll and all the threes that Houston shoots. And because Houston doesn't play traditional centers much either.
Who's back up 4 and 5 for the Rockets?
It was Nene a lot yesterday.
Nene.
Yeah, Nene was getting most of the backup big minutes because they don't really play. Clint Capella starts at 5 and Ryan Anderson starts at 4. Anderson's a decent rebounder, but is mostly just a shooter. Other than that, they don't play a lot of big guys. They'll end up playing P.J. Tucker as they did last night. P.J. Tucker will play center a lot, and Nene will play center a lot. But the reason why that's interesting to me is because the best teams, the Warriors, the Spurs, etc., even the Rockets in this case, they don't adjust to you. They do what they do and make you adjust to them.
Like fighters.
Yeah, exactly. So
this is what I do. I'm not watching tape.
So if Luke is kind of scrambling's not a good word for it, but Luke is adjusting, trying to find a combination to match up with the Rockets.
It's the same guys.
Yes, but you're playing them at different times and different combinations.
Right.
Yes.
Why? You had an 82-game science experiment last year. This year, you bring in guys for a very specific reason.
Yes.
To clear cap space for next year. I've said this until ad nauseum. So the guys that are not going to be here next year are uncertain about their futures. There's a lack of cohesion with the team, and these guys are far better than the way they've been playing. I'm telling you right now, Aaron,
yes,
this Lakers team, if every guy in the building was under contract for the next 3, 4, or 5 years, is a 6-seed basketball team.
I think that's a little optimistic, but I agree. I agree that they would definitely
no free throws.
They would definitely be better than now.
30% from 3. The first team only scores 60. Everything's gone wrong.
The question, you're right. The question about that though is if all these guys are under contract for longer. I think this year's team is better because there is more cohesion that you're talking about. The problem is, what is the ceiling for that group? And to raise the ceiling,
the Warriors. I know that.
Yeah, to raise the ceiling. So then, don't you want to? So then, as a Lakers fan, and I know you are, and a guy that knows basketball, they call it the treadmill of mediocrity. Is a thing where you go to the playoffs over and over and over. You know, you're about 500. You go to the playoffs over and over and over, and you get blown out in the first round and go home. Some teams and some cities like to do that, but then you don't get draft picks, etc. So I'm done with you. A lot of teams decide they want to get off what is called the treadmill of mediocrity and try to go big. And in this case, for the Lakers, going big means sacrificing a little bit of right now to try to take a swing in free agency.
I think you get a much more accurate read of the value of each guy if you were all in with a few more guys. I know that's a little abstract, but I have an idea of why my positivity has been sort of... I'll tell you my idea of why. What's happening, I think, downtown. No one's told me this. No inside info.
Sure.
And if I was, I wouldn't tell you.
Right. And if you did, then you wouldn't tell them that you would tell them.
Extraordinary positive. And I figured it out. I was just driving one night, and I went, oh, my God. You said the treadmill of mediocrity.
Treadmill of mediocrity. A bunch of teams that are low playoff seeds, so they don't get in the lottery, don't really get any better, and just get beat up in the first round because ownership
We're going to talk about that.
Makes them get in the playoffs.
Pyramid coming up, and we have Pick'em, a new game show that you're really going to like, and the Clippers are hot garbage. I'd way rather have a 5-game losing streak and looking at the Baton Death March of December.
Yeah, it's a little rough coming up.
December schedule for the Lakers is just one long Dennis Miller reference. These guys got stomped like a narc at a biker rally. They made McGovern look like William the Conqueror after these words. BET, DSI, Bet DSI. It's been in business for 20 years. And you know what I love about Bet DSI is they pay winners. Aaron and I know this firsthand.
We do.
A+ rated on sportsbook review sites. That means they don't dip to a B+ ever or B-. It's A+.
Across the board.
Biznord, BetDSI offers. That's me trying to sound down.
You did.
Hey, homie.
You did.
What's across the Biznord hats?
Just like we're down with BetDSI.
BetDSI. They got odds on pretty much everything else, including football, basketball, baseball, hockey. Who's going to win the MVP? Rookie of the year, over-unders. The promo code is Lakers25 because you get a free $25 wager on the house, 200% extra bonus when you deposit.
And you were right. Last week you told us you liked the 49ers.
Go on.
At Soldier Field.
Yep.
The beautiful Jimmy Garoppolo starting for the Niners,
God,
and they won outright.
I'll kiss him on his
at
face.
least on this podcast, JJ, you are 1-0 in your predictions for BetDSI.
I'm so terrible at predicting anything outcome-wise in sports that when I actually open my mouth, listen to me.
Normally you just don't say nothing, right?
It was that kooky Thursday night run. We had like 11 in a row. I'm like, let's just keep going.
We
man.
did.
I never take the Jets, but I'm sure of it, bro. They started it and they ended it.
They did.
Stupid Jets. Lakers 25 is the promo code for BetDSI.com. America's Lakers podcast at Aaron Larsoul, at JMoore37, at FryFry42. Jimmy, you got a nephew? Jimmy, you got a Twitter?
At James_LeBeau.
Yeah, James
James
underscore LeBeau, Lebeau.
All right.
Maybe that's a middle name or something. I don't know.
LeBeau.
Yeah.
All right, let's tell everybody why I'm so happy, even though there's a 5-game losing
Please.
streak. You said the hamster wheel there, the wheel of mediocrity.
Yes, the treadmill of mediocrity, but I like the hamster wheel better. So the gerbil existence of being kind of good and getting hammered in the first round.
Animal to make your stories good for everybody.
Thank you, Coach.
I got an idea about minutes played later in the show.
I would love to hear it, Coach Bennett.
Get down from there. You're going to get a T. All right. The Lakers have never been mediocre. The closest they came, I would say, was like the Randy Fund years when you had Eddie George and Nick Van Exel, Nicky Van Smack, Cedric Sabalos.
Yeah, we talked about it. We talked about it. Was it last week? You and I, not on the podcast, talked about it. George Lynch was the only Lakers lottery pick over
leading
like
scorer
30 years.
And rebounder at UNC.
Indeed.
And hey, not great. Better than I am, certainly, as a professional basketball player.
Maybe slightly. I've seen
That's
you shoot.
them average, and that team was good.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Like, they could run you out of the gym.
They could.
A little like Rucker Park, a little AAU, little YMCA Jewish dentist 40 and over. Like, all right.
I got to get in these leagues.
Yes, you do. You could be Jewish easily.
I am.
Original Hebrew.
And I'm 40, so
You know
I need
how.
to.
You know how we do.
It's exactly the league for me.
That's what's up. I got some common lyrics. Original Hebrew. You know how we do.
It's me, Drake, Sammy Davis Jr.,
Gary Goldman,
Yeah, there's not a lot of us.
Jimmy
but-
Miller.
Right. And Lenny Kravitz, I think, too.
Are going to go my way? Here's why I'm so excited about this. The Lakers have never done mediocrity, ever. This is the basement. Last year was the basement. 17 wins is the basement, and it is unacceptable. And Jeannie Buss said that in her interviews. It's unacceptable. They could amend and make fixes and apply and remedy now to get to what I just said, that 6th seed.
Right.
They have just let go of the reins of all of the horses on the sled. Every Clydesdale in front, just nothing, because when they make a move, it's not going to be Steve Nash, 4 picks. It's not going to be Dwight Howard. It's not going to be this or and that. It's going to be an enormous pick.
Correct.
They can't say anything to anybody because Herb Simon and Sam Presti are a couple of rats.
Yeah, yeah. So
Rats.
the
Carmelo
Lakers,
Anthony for
the Lakers have the
McBuckets.
opportunity to do little things that would help get you a couple wins this year. They could have. But instead of that, they could have put a Band-Aid on a bullet wound, basically.
Yes, and I'm telling you this right now, if everybody out there in Lakerland, and this is just me only, stop thinking 2 max contracts. Because I want 1 max contract, and I want, maybe Randall comes back, maybe KCP comes back. His defense has been great. Their defense is great. He's a contagious defender, I would say.
Yeah,
And
well,
Larry
hopefully,
Nance-
he infects Cal Kuzma.
And Larry Nance Jr., for people that are taking him to the woodshed for his lack of offense, and, it is a lack of offense, his defense, I don't know how great statistically his offense is. You can share with us, but his effort is unmatched. You cannot take plays off when Larry Nance Jr. is on the floor.
No.
You'll stand out.
And something that the Lakers kind of have been struggling with is getting. I say that every week, don't I? Getting easy baskets. And one of the ways to get easy baskets is offensive rebounding. And Larry Nance Jr. is a really good offensive rebounder. And his effort and athleticism I tweeted about this last night. He goes after every offensive rebound, and that creates a problem for the defense. Either you get a tip in, or if you get the offensive rebound, a lot of open threes come off of offensive rebounds. So
just play him at center, man. Just
I
squeeze him in. Bye, Brooke.
I mean, he did. He played some at center last night.
Can I see your first round pick? Here's Brooke.
And this is the thing to watch with Larry. He gets to a lot of balls, but his hands. And I don't know if it's a remnant of the injury, but his hands haven't been great. So he misses a lot of tips around the rim.
Oh, what's that? Tips around the rim?
Always my favorite.
Alternative lifestyle, droopy dog. I love tips around the rim with hands.
Let's play. So the Lakers are going to make, let's think one max contract instead of two, because you really got to rearrange deck chairs on a Titanic to get that second one in.
Right.
These guys are better than the record indicates. They can play better. Your best players have to play better more often, and I'm going to prove it to you with my game I got right now.
One thing that...
how is
Larry
Nance's defense statistically?
He's been good. The Lakers are better with him on the floor statistically than off the floor. Actually, I was just kind of running some on-off numbers. Kyle Kuzma has been great on offense. The Lakers are 6.5 points better with him on the floor on offense, but they are 8.3 points worse with him on the floor on defense.
That's why I don't like plus minuses, because that's a -2.
Yeah.
For this statistic, but in the game, it's always like plus 18 for Kuzma.
And Lonzo, the Lakers are, I was just kind of looking at the rookies. Lonzo, the offense is slightly better with him off the floor, and it's basically the defense doesn't matter whether he's on or off.
Yeah, I saw that somewhere in an art, not yours, because your analytics, I take over anything. By the way, John Ireland, thanks for those nice things you said about my buddy.
He said really nice things about me.
Walking encyclopedia that you are.
And you might learn something if you listen to the show.
You will absolutely learn something. Lakers Film Room remains this is not a sponsor. This is just a guy that loves
you like
the Lakers,
their stuff,
breaks it down. Fascinating. This guy puts in more. You know how long it takes to break down film and upload and all that stuff, obviously.
I do.
The Lakers lost to the Rockets. The first 6 possessions I stopped watching, and I took screen grabs, Aaron, and I made a comment on the Twitter at jmoore37. When the guy that shoots the ball gets it, from the time the ball goes near the rim, nobody moves.
Yeah,
First possession, shooter gets the ball, and there's the ball in the cylinder.
Yep.
Guys are in the exact same spot. Second possession, boom, everyone's standing around. Boom, everybody's in the same place.
Yeah, I've been talking about this for weeks. There's not a lot of off-ball action, and
that's a tell.
And the other thing
he's shooting it because nobody's moving.
Yes, the other thing that kind of started concerning me it's concerned me before, but really last night, Lonzo, because he hasn't been an effective shooter yet. When he doesn't have the ball, when he doesn't bring the ball up and initiate the offense, he generally goes and stands in the corner, and I don't know what that accomplishes because. He doesn't. Have you heard the term gravity? There's a term gravity, which means.
Gravity means?
Well, in basketball, it means how close do people have to stick to you, and how much attention do other defenders pay to you. If you have gravity, they pull you. They pull you towards. They pull the mass of the defense towards you. Steph has the most in NBA history for obvious reasons, but because Lonzo is not an accomplished shooter yet,
Warriors reference would be amazing.
We're going to get there.
I have no problems with it.
When Lonzo becomes a more accomplished shooter, standing him in the corner is more effective because the defense has
so
to...
funny to me. He just stands in the corner.
Because the defense has to pay more attention to him and can't focus on the other guys. But as he's not a shooter...
No gravity.
Just standing... Yeah, right.
Like the moon.
They don't care. Whoever's guarding him doesn't care. Go ahead, stand there.
His shot, he has a struggle. And
one thing I did really like...
Struggle.
Yes. One thing I did really like, though, yesterday, ATOs are kind of out of timeout plays after timeouts. Luke got the offensive bucket. He got at the first quarter with 3 minutes left or so. He got KCP a wide open three. That was out of the offense. That was just straight Luke. It wasn't talent of the guys. And that's the kind of thing you look for when you want to see how good of a coach somebody is, especially offensively. Watch what they do out of timeouts. And do you get an easy play, an easy shot out of a timeout?
I was impressed by that play also,
yes.
And I know the one you're talking about because I haven't been impressed with the plays after timeouts. They seem very stagnant and odd and a little confusing. So that was a really good thing. Luke's not wrong. Luke just has to make a decision where he can be told he's wrong, and maybe that's plays into my optimism of the one max and think good things happen. Let me just prove to you these guys are better than anybody thinks.
All right, I like it.
Okay, let's play a little game here. Let's play pick 'em. It's you're just going to pick the human being let's go 8. Let's pick 8 guys.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, boy.
That sounds hot. Alternate droopy dog.
Would you rather have Lonzo Ball or Dennis Schrader?
Well, let me get ground rules. Are we talking about? Hold on.
Give me a name.
Are we
Give me
talking
a name.
about to win a
I'm
game
not
right
doing this.
now?
Give me a name. Who do you want? Would you rather go quick?
I would rather have Dennis.
could go
I would
against
rather
the
have.
family,
I would
it's
rather
fine.
have. I would rather have Dennis Schroeder right now. If you're talking about,
Schroeder.
if you're talking about 3 years ago, 3 years from now, Lonzo.
You're clouding the
All
waters
right.
here.
Dennis Schroeder.
Would you rather have KCP or Timmy Hardaway Jr.?
KCP.
Would you rather have Kent Bazemore or Brandon Ingram?
Ingram.
Paul Millsap or Julius Randle?
Millsap.
Yeah. Dwight Howard or Brook Lopez? 3 out of 5 starters are the Lakers.
Dwight
The other
Howard.
ones, no, you want Dwight. Now,
I don't-
back in the day, sure. 3 out of the 5 guys are Lakers that you'd rather have over the starting 5 of a playoff Atlanta Hawks team last year.
Yes.
This team, I know they're not in the East.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you the West as well.
Okay.
So this team went to the playoffs. The backups, Malcolm Delaney at the point versus Julius Randle, no-brainer. Korver, of course, is better than whoever I could name. You like Cephalosha, I know.
Yeah, but Cephalosha's
But is he better
done.
than Kuzma if I
No,
put Kuzma
no,
to the
absolutely
3?
not. Cephalosha's done.
But he's only 20 years old. At some point, 20 years old has to stop being he's only 20 years old. Because it's like with kids, you go, well, he can't read yet. He's only 6. No, 6 when you read. No, but he's only 9. Yeah, well, he's 9 or only 9. He should read without moving his lips at 22.
Are you telling me Kyle Kuzma's still breastfeeding? Is that where we're going with this?
He does.
Oh.
Off of Boris Diaw.
The stretch mark 4, Boris DL.
Would you
Shout out
rather
to
have
Jared for
Rodney
that one.
Hood or KCP? Right now. Come on, give me a name now.
Rodney Hood.
I don't believe you, first of all.
Rodney Hood, probably.
Would you rather have Gordon Hayward or Brandon Ingram?
I'd rather have Gordon Hayward.
To me, that's a push, actually.
I'd rather have Gordon Hayward.
Boris Diaw or Julius Randle?
Julius Randle.
Rudy Gobert.
Or versus anybody you're going to say, I would rather have Rudy Gobert.
George Hill or Zoe or Clarkson?
Clarkson out of those 3.
George Hill or Zoe?
Probably
Dante
so.
Exum or
Probably
Zoe?
so. George Hill, statistically, the last time I looked, actually, George Hill was the single worst point guard in the NBA. It was a couple weeks ago, but he was the single worst point guard in the NBA.
6 players. 3 of them you'd rather have the Lakers starter.
You
and
give me the
Julius
Utah
Clarkson.
Jazz from last year. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's 51-31.
Yeah.
That's a great team.
Yeah, they were really good last year.
None of these guys are markedly better. Rudy Gobert is the exception. Gordon Hayward is not light years ahead of Brandon Ingram. We saw Brandon Ingram's potential went to ceiling.
Well, yeah, he was fantastic against the Warriors.
He's a fantastic player, and we're seeing it now. Like he's getting it together, and you go, "Oh my God!" Like
Yeah, so Ingram's high. We talked early in this year. Yeah, go
stick
ahead.
with
Go
this
ahead. Yeah,
macro
go ahead.
here.
Go ahead.
this team went deep into the playoffs. This is the Utah Jazz from last year, 20 games over
Yeah,
500.
They beat the
Two
Clippers in the
guards
first
you'd
round and
rather
lost
have
to the
over
Warriors in the
guards.
second round. Yeah.
You'd rather have Julius Randle than Boris Diaw at the power forward. Gobert's otherworldly.
Yeah.
Gordon Hayward, of course, but you know what? He's not playing.
Right.
This is a really good team.
Yeah,
Would
Utah
you
was
rather
really
have-
good last
Would
year,
you rather
yeah.
have Kuzma or would you rather have Derek Favors? Backups.
Kuzma.
All right, small forward. Take Joe Ingles, Laura Ingles. Put her out there.
All the Ingles.
You want to keep playing?
Every
I got
Ingles.
one more.
Yeah, let's do it. I like this.
Think about this.
I like
this
this.
guy. I'm proving my point. Marcus Smart, Avery Bradley, or do you want Clarkson, Zoe, and KCP? Don't even tell me.
I want Boston's backcourt from last year.
Marcus. I didn't say Isaiah Thomas for a reason.
Yeah.
Marcus Smart, Avery Bradley, and Terry Rozier, or do you want Jordan Clarkson, KCP, and Zoe? I know the answer.
I want Boston.
That's not true.
I do. I want Boston.
That's not true. He's lying.
I want Boston.
You want
I want Boston.
Marcus Smart over anybody?
Well, because defense means something to me. I
right.
really like.
Jay Crowder, any of the small Gerald Green, Jalen Brown, Jay Crowder.
don't
You
want
got Kuzma, Ingram.
I would rather have Kuzma and Ingram.
Okay, so that's check.
And
mark.
I like Jalen a lot.
I know you do.
But he's a Cal guy.
This is the actual bum position. Amir Johnson to me is he's just terrible.
No, yeah, and Olenek.
Jonas, Jerebko,
Jerebko
Jordan
and
Mickey, Amir
Olenek.
Johnson. So
Yeah.
power forward, you go to the Lakers. Center Al Horford, Kelly Olynyk, or Olynyk, whatever.
Yeah.
Brook Lopez.
I would.
Julius coming in at center instead of Olynyk.
Yeah, I think that's a toss-up.
Really?
Yeah, I think
Al
that's a
Horford,
toss-up.
you really overrated.
Horford's been
He's stolen more money from Boston than Whitey Bulger.
He's been fantastic this year.
Yeah, you can't be a toss. Al Horford versus Brook Lopez and then Kelly Olynyk, and you got Randall coming into 5. Or you got Gene Hackman.
If Randall's giving me,
Who's Gene Hackman? 66. What's Gene Hackman?
Andrew Bogut.
Yeah,
Andrew
Gene
Bogut.
Hackman, Andrew Bogut.
Yeah, if you're giving me big minutes from Randall at center, then I'll
You
take
just
the
got to
Lakers.
pick one column or the other.
I'll take the Lakers. There.
3 positions, you got the Lakers instead of the Celtics. I think you're lying about the guards. This is the Celtics, dude, from last year.
Yeah, they were the
And you
one
got
seed. They were the
3
one seed in the East.
You got 3 out of 5. You're giving the advantage to the Lakers. So why? Because they could be better. I just proved my whole point. This team could really go deep, not deep into the playoffs, but these guys are better than they're playing. I'm excited about these dudes.
I agree with heavily.
That was a fun game. You like that game?
I did like the game.
We'll
we
be
should
right
play it
back
every
with
week.
Pyramid, and we're going to pile on the Clippers because they suck after this.
Podcast One has new shows on our new app. Check out all the cool features to help you explore our exciting new programming, like America's Lakers podcast with Jay Mohr, Sessions with Randy Jackson, So Random with Corinne Olympios, Attack Each Day, The Harbaugh's podcast, Not Just Sports with Susie Schuster and Rich Eisen, and Sound of Success, the Dick Enberg podcast, as well as your old favorites like The Lady Gang, Steve Austin, Shaquille O'Neal, and Adam Carolla. Get the new Podcast One app in the App Store, Google Play, or podcastone.com.
DirecTV ha sido el número uno en satisfacción al cliente sobre el cable por 17 años seguidos. Pero aún así hay quienes les gusta el cable y también disfrutan que su pareja tenga 2 pies izquierdos.
¡Au! ¡Qué bien bailas!
Ser bienvenidos por la chancla.
Te extrañé, mamá.
Para todos los demás está DirecTV. Para el número uno en satisfacción al cliente sobre el cable, cámbiate a DirecTV. Llama al 1-877-278-1288. Comparado con los otros proveedores del servicio de suscripción a TV por cable. Declaración basada en encuestas CSA 2001 al 2017 de clientes calificando el funcionamiento de su propio proveedor de servicio de TV.
America's Lakers podcast. Jay Mohr, Aaron Larsoul, Corey Fry, nephew Jimmy in the house. Got a 5 o'clock flight, so we're going to record earlier so we can study greatness. What's the Jeff Schwartz theory on the Bucks?
Yeah, so this is
Schwartz?
No, not old
that's
radio.
Clippers towards the end.
Yes, that's a Clipper
All
saying he's an agent.
Oh, I'm in a mood. You know what, guys? I am in a mood. Don't even get me started.
I like your mustache.
Bewitched, bothered, or bewildered. Let's do this real quick. Lakers have a brutal December, and now is it somebody's job in Lakers management to tell Luke Walton, like, your job's safe, December's going to be crazy, let's figure out this rotation and let's lock something in. So an average fan goes, here's the starting 5, here's 1 and 2 and 3 off the bench.
If either Magic or Pelinka, who would be the only 2 guys that would do that, if either one of them felt like that was a problem for the Lakers, then yes, that would be helpful.
A problem.
Meaning, like, the rotation's not
Magic's
being...
the only guy other than Genie that can fire Luke.
Pelinka probably could, too. But he's going to run it through. Yeah, if Pelinka or Magic thought that was a problem and would be helpful, stabilizing the rotations, these guys start, these guys do this.
I meant just tell him he's not going to be fired. Like, just go. Just be fearless and just go. You play to win the game.
I mean, that's always, that's helpful. A coach is going to like to know that.
And that's kind of rare, unless it's public, and then you're done. The public vote.
Yeah, if they give you the public vote, it's like, what is that, in the mob, where they kiss you on the cheek or something?
Hey, forget about it.
Yeah, then
forget about it.
Yeah, it is. That's kind of rare.
All right, I got another story for you here. Another game for you. Let's play some Pyramid,
Let's do it.
All right, buddy, and you're going to like this one a lot. In this America's Lakers podcast, Lakers have I don't want to say it's going to be a long, cold winter, okay? But I got Dennis Miller's December.
At Philly, at Charlotte, at the Knicks, at Cleveland. Then I think it's Warriors at home.
I think they're actually
at Houston,
okay.
and then at the Warriors. It's tough.
They can beat Philly.
They can beat Philly.
Is it Charlotte?
Yep. At Philly, at Charlotte, at the Knicks.
Charlotte, Knicks, Cleveland. They can beat all these teams. I'm sorry. That's why I was so angry about it. They hung with the Warriors. Like, hey, man, that's not how we do it around here. It's the Lakers.
I think that, they
Go take that to Pally High, man.
Four game road trip.
Jimmy, you know what a dolphin is? It's a gay shark, okay? Not for nothing. All right, it's time for Pyramid. I'm just going to give you some names or things, and you got to figure out what it is that I'm doing. For example, it'd be like, hey, these croutons are heavy. Oh, my gosh, I'm drowning in all this dressing.
Things on a salad would say. Yeah,
there you go. Right. Or it could be people that wear construction hats to work.
Okay.
Ready?
Construction people.
Taj Gibson.
Yes.
Thaddeus Young. Lauri Markkanen. Should I say them all like the in-house announcer?
Please.
Chris Middleton.
Okay.
They're always so excited. Every arena, it's like, Patrick Ewing!
Right.
That was Dale Ellis.
Yes.
Dale Ellis, the only guy that got a little love, and Curry's dad.
Del Curry, yeah.
Del Curry. He had a little optimism.
Just a taste.
But everybody else was James Harden. Whatever. Jerk. Chris Middleton. Derek
Wait, let's start
Favors,
over again now. Okay.
Taj Gibson.
Yes.
Chris Middleton. They all have one thing in common so far,
okay.
You'll see. Aaron Gordon. Kyle Kuzma. James Johnson. Oh, James Johnson. Bojan Bogdanovic.
Yeah.
Lauri Markkanen. Thaddeus Young. Chris Middleton. They all play the same position.
Yeah, they're all power
790. 732, 680, 607, 716.
Are these their minutes played?
Wow, you're good. So guys that have played more minutes.
At power forward than Julius Randle.
Yeah, Julius Randle, 503 minutes, 282 points, 149 rebounds. The number one guy, Taj Gibson, 790 minutes.
Can we read me the guys again?
First, let me hammer this point home. Taj Gibson's like almost 300 points higher. 200
minutes.
20
minutes more.
Yes.
Yeah.
20 points less on the season than a guy coming in at 300 less minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's, of course, Julius Randle. The names are Taj Gibson's number one, 790.
And these are you're giving me these in order of minutes played. Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah,
Chris Middleton, Thaddeus Young, barely has more points than Julius Randle. Bojangles, Bogdanovich.
Yeah.
Mr. 716 minutes. Derek Favors, 647. Lauri Markkanen, this is a lot. 640 for a kid. Whoa, he's handsome.
Yeah, and Randall, Middleton's good, but Randall's the best guy on that list.
James Johnson.
James Johnson got a lot of money in Miami.
607 minutes.
We got a lot of money in Miami.
Kuzma's at 680, dude.
Yeah, and Randall's
Aaron
the
Gordon
best.
Actually is way
Aaron Gordon's the best player on that list. I forgot about Gordon.
Yeah, he's got a lot. He's got 410
Aaron Gordon's been
points
incredible
total.
this year. He raised his 3-point shooting from like 28% last year to 42% this year.
Very interesting, Aaron. God, you know your basketball. Chris Middleton has one more point in the season than Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon plays for a bad team.
He does.
They
started out great, but they've been awful.
These are all
recently.
guys that have played more minutes than Julius Randle. I think if Luke can just commit to, hey, media, here are the starters for your Los Angeles Lakers. I can't start 7 guys. And I got a logjam at power forward. I wish I could just magic Kuzma into small forward.
Yeah, I mean, what would really help is if Kuzma could play 2. He's like kind of a natural 3 that they play.
If you
That's
would
right.
stop
Yeah, we talked
buckets,
about we talked about that in the last episode. I think the reason we've been talking about getting max guys 1, 2, whatever is because this team really needs a fulcrum on offense.
Yeah.
Needs like somebody that has gravity that everybody else is terrified of.
And that's what every team that you picked more Lakers than the playoff team I listed has.
Yeah.
They have a guy where they go, hey, man, 6 seconds, get it to you.
Yeah,
know
the
who,
Celtics
we're
had
outta here.
Isaiah last year. Yeah.
They all had it.
Utah had Gordon Hayward. They had a guy that, and I think Brandon Ingram is that guy. And Brandon Ingram's highs, as we saw on what was that, Wednesday night against the Warriors. I mean, he was one of, if not the best player on the floor. He was right there with KD and Steph. The problem with Brandon, and this happens a lot with young guys, the highs are really high, and his lows he's raised up so that he doesn't really have terrible games anymore. He's just not. His highs aren't consistent.
His bad games, I go,
right.
Hey, it happens.
His highs, he just isn't that consistent yet.
Larry
and when
Nance
he
having
becomes
0 points, when the coach goes, "You're my starter," and everybody's freaking out, you can't go for what was it, 11? It was a minus 18 or something. It was crazy, but he was 0 for something, Larry Nance Jr.
Oh, yeah, I think it was like 0
you
for
got to
5
prove
or
the
0
coach
for 7.
right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You just got to get to that rim and dunk, which he can do well. God, that contract is a big, juicy pork chop to every team in this NBA. Like, well, he doesn't make $2 million till
Well, yeah, no, I mean, he's a second-round pick, right? So
I would give my
guys-
firstborn child for Larry Nance Jr. if I was the Celtics.
Okay.
That's actually not true.
No, I don't think
It was
it
an
is.
odd thing. I would give one of my eyes and get a Far Side glass eye with a fish in it. A little tiny.
Your mama? Yeah, a little.
Just
Yeah.
if I was another team to get that cat in house.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it's not a problem, but the problem with trading Nance is that because he makes so little money, you can't you got to match salaries. So he doesn't. If you're trying to get rid of, yeah, you can.
I
trade
mean, if I
Larry
want to
Nance,
get better now, I mean, obviously you want to package Luol Deng, which
Right,
is the
that's-
albatross. Why would you not stretch and waive Luol Deng? What? I know you want to trade him to get not market value. You want some value back.
No, you trade. You want to not waive him. You want to trade him because if
Okay.
you trade him, you get rid of all of his $18 million, as opposed to if you stretch and waive him,
year.
you have to keep $7 or $7.5 million.
You
a
know
year.
what? I'll take it. It's like refinancing your house.
But
your
it
mortgage.
also doesn't help them to do now. It doesn't matter to do it now.
He doesn't go to the arena, Aaron. That can't be good for morale when he does show up and he gets on a scale and it breaks.
Yeah, that's the Rafe LaFrance. One of my years in Portland. Rafe LaFrance was making $11 million, and he was hurt, and he decided he stayed at his he stayed at the ranch in Montana. He didn't even show up for the team picture.
Luol Deng is not in the arena when we go to games.
I haven't seen him. You're right.
Luol, tell me why, General Manager Aaron Larsoul, why can't I stretch and wave Luol Deng now? Right now.
Well,
this moment? No. Tell me why I cannot. Why can't I?
Oh, because
why don't I want to?
Because the cap space that you would get back doesn't help you right now.
So people stop talking about it. He'd be out of here. Kevin Napier didn't help the Angels. There is no cap in baseball.
Well, you may as well use this time to see if you can trade him.
Why? Who's going to trade for a guy that doesn't go to the arena to sit down?
It depends. They're not trading for Luol Deng. They're trading for his contract and what you will get with him. Maybe you can convince the Lakers to give you Larry Nance Jr.
Can I convince somebody that this is an actual? I know nothing is actually impossible. Mm-hmm. This is an immovable contract that no team in their right mind, because of the amount of years on it, you're not going to get anything with Luol Deng on your roster. 4 a night, 6 a night would be a miracle.
He's not. I think Luol Deng should have been played at power forward a long time ago, but
for the Lakers,
yes,
Randall's the best guy on the team. You said,
yeah. I mean, even last year, he should have been playing power forward. They tried to play him at 3, which was a problem. His last year in Miami, which is why the Lakers signed him, he was a power forward and was pretty good. Then they tried to play him the Lakers have tried to play him at 3, and he's just miscast there. But there's no if the Lakers aren't going to use the cap space by trading him or waiving him now, there's no reason to. And the longer you go, the less money, if somebody else is going to take on his contract, the longer the Lakers.
It on. So let's deal with it.
Well, Timothy Mozgov is not any better than.
There's a Russian billionaire owner that's kooky. He wants a Russian billionaire center that can't spell Timothy.
Well, and you got D'Angelo Russell for him.
Right.
So if
there's no more D'Angelo Russells coming out of this building in Inglewood.
No, maybe, but
wherever it is.
Larry Nance, as the name you mentioned, Randall. There's Clarkson, there's guys that have good contracts that...
If I stretch and wave Luol Deng, I don't have to pay him what I'm paying him right now.
Correct.
I can pay him half to not be my problem. He's
well,
not
you
have
to pay. You still have to pay him. You just pay him over a longer period of time.
Yeah. It's refinancing your house. Instead of a $50,000 a month mortgage, you got a $20,000. Why it goes that high? I don't even know what that's like. All right, let's talk about the Clippers and how sorry they are. They've lost a lot of games. Look, I know the Lakers are on a losing streak, but the Clippers went full Clippers. They just did it earlier, not the second round. They just went, you know what? Why wait till late winter?
Yeah, they've lost 12 of 15.
Let's just be full Clippers now that Jerry West is here. And then when he trades us, he can take all the credit for doing what the writing on the wall was anyway. I'm not a big fan of the executive, and I put it in quotes because with the Warriors, non-decision-making role.
He was a consultant.
Never mentioned in any article. He's the genius behind the Warriors. No, he wasn't.
No, he was a consultant. The question though was
vote on anything.
And Mark Jackson wouldn't let him in. He wouldn't let him into practice. But the question is, what happens with Doc now?
Doc's gone.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably
canceling the show. It's a good show, not my show.
He was removed as the decision maker. Doc was also the GM and president of basketball operations.
How'd that work out so far?
Well, not particularly well.
Was Chris Paul in-house when Jerry West got there?
I think he was, by a couple days. Yeah, but it was a couple days before he left.
Danilo Gallinari got maxed out while Jerry West was there.
Yes.
Did you or anybody go, oh, wow, good?
No.
I
went,
oh
my God, I'm terrified.
Moves, and playing to history, someone else is going to take all the blame for something he did entirely himself.
Yeah, Danilo Gallinari has played more than 60 games, I think only twice in his career. So you can combine an injury-prone Gallinari with an injury-prone Blake Griffin, and, well, this is what you got because both guys are hurt.
And I'm going to tell you this. Jerry West is going to go down as one of the greatest executives of all time because he's going to get all the credit for when these guys get shipped out and the new guys come in. And if he just hangs around 1-2 years, if the new group of Clippers with A. DeAndre or a Blake goes second round, they're going to be like, oh, he did it again.
Well, the interesting thing now is that, so DeAndre, just today, as we record this, signed with an agent, Jeff Schwartz. The reason presumably the reason why is because he's going to opt out of his contract after this year, so he will be a free agent.
$24 million, right?
He gets $24 million next year unless he opts out, which I think he will. So DeAndre hasn't had an agent. The reason why you do now is because agents can do two things. Obviously, for your next contract, they help with that. But
How
yes,
do you get $24 million without an agent?
because he's DeAndre Jordan.
Oh, that's right. He was in his house in Dallas. Like, all right, $24 million. I'll come
Yes,
out.
he was at Cuban's house. Yes.
Oh my God! He's lucky Mark Cuban doesn't send hitmen or Jeff Gillooly after. Like, you were
Well-
in my house and you agreed to jump.
Yeah, there were some. There's actually some pretty funny stories about that. But the question now is the other thing an agent can do is help kind of back channel some trade stuff because they can go to other teams. They can talk to other teams and say, yes, DeAndre would be likely to re-sign here or wouldn't be. So agents can facilitate trades. They're really
they can facilitate also.
they can do both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your orange juice. Is
And
very
I was
high in
I was
concilitrate.
I was the English teacher
But
earlier.
I don't drink calories, so I don't know what concilitrating orange juice stuff does. So
Nothing
they
good
can
for you.
facilitate back channel trades. They keep all the phones going at all the time.
Yes, but so Jeff Schwartz is friends with the Bucks. One of the Bucks owners is friends with Jason Kidd. Used to represent
Cole. He can't be him. He's
no.
dead.
Yeah, he's yeah. And represents a lot of the guys on Thon McClure, I think he's called now, and Middleton that we talked about earlier.
What's his name?
Thon Maker, we thought was his name. Now he goes by Thon McClure.
I like the way you said it first.
McCure.
Yeah, Thon McClure.
That's correct French pronunciation.
So there's some rumors out there that this kind of is paving the way for DeAndre to get traded to the Bucks.
Oh my gosh, that's a scary team.
It is.
That's a perfect fit.
It is a good fit.
Wow. And it's just your ear to the ground what you know.
Yeah.
Because we don't do gossip. This
No.
is what Aaron knows is happening.
Well, you always, JJ, you always talk about connecting two dots. Jeff Schwartz today became DeAndre's agent. Jeff Schwartz is highly embedded with the Bucks.
What players do you have on the Bucks?
He has Thon McClure. He has Chris Middleton.
I ain't calling him that.
Okay. Thon Maker. He's Michael Carter Williams. Over the years, he's had a lot of guys. And he's very close friends with Jason Kidd, the Bucks coach, who he represented when Kidd played. And the Bucks have this weird tri-ownership group, and he's really close with one of their owners. Michael Carter Williams has been everywhere.
I know, but yeah, man, on the Clippers, it's great, man. Jerry West is there. You're going to learn from the greatest player.
I think Michael Carter Williams had the single greatest opening game as a rookie in NBA history. I got to look that up, but I'm pretty sure that's right.
I believe you.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
There's no way he's staying.
I think he had and it was against the Heat when they had just gotten LeBron.
Let me tell you something. If the Bucks get DeAndre Jordan, I don't care about the Cavs at all. I'm going all in on Bucks.
Yeah, and after they traded for
Celtics
Bledsoe, and they
Drew Bledsoe's on the.
yes, he is.
Yes,
Drew Bledsoe's now quarterbacking the
yeah.
Milwaukee Bucks.
Nice
kid.
kid.
Eric Bledsoe, who is a point guard and therefore quarterback.
Oh
the
yeah,
Bucks.
Eric Bledsoe, the basketball player.
Yes,
that
dumb
probably
guy.
makes more sense here.
Yeah, dumb guy.
Clippers, they'll turn it around, I guess, but not with Michael Carter Williams and other coming for DeAndre.
No,
but there is a move that's gonna. There's no way Jerry West can stand there 12 out of 15 because eventually somebody's gonna peek behind the curtain and go, "Hey, Jerry West is the guy that makes decisions here," and that's never happened before. On the negative, he's expertly
he's
kept people at a
Teflon
distance.
guy. Yeah.
Well, Phil Jackson would do this. Like, everybody's at a perfect distance where he gets the credit, and when there's blame, you go, no, Kurt Rambouil's in charge of defense. Look at this. This guy's in charge of that. This guy's in charge of this. And at some point, you got to go, I'm the guy that's to blame. Michael Carter Williams out of Syracuse, his first game ever. I mean, he was only 20 years old.
Yeah, I honestly, I think he had
22, 12 assists,
and he had
9
triple-double.
steals,
yeah, he was
7 boards,
yeah.
and
it was
31.
against the Heat. I think it was LeBron's first game with the Heat, maybe.
Keep your eyes on your luggage.
Or it was definitely the season
Black man.
opener
Keep
against
your eyes on your luggage.
LeBron's Heat.
That is a lot of keep your eyes on your luggage. 9 steals.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes on your luggage. So, America's Lakers podcast, I'm telling you, these guys are damn good basketball players. This Los Angeles Lakers team, it's just tough to go all out when you don't know where you're going to be. And that's what any of us really want. And I know the Lakers are in an odd spot, but I think it's the best case scenario of things going their way. Cap space available down the line, guys that are pretty good in-house, guys that are very good in-house, expiring contracts. Everything they've wanted, they've gotten, and there's almost too many options. But we'll see. December, I think they're going to win more than people think. I'm not going to say I can't predict games like this. Basketball's kind of impossible. You never know. Baseball's harder. Hockey's the worst. Then you're a degenerate gambler if you bet on hockey.
Yeah, you're going to give away all my voices now? You're just put me out like that? Put me on Front Street like
I didn't
that?
even know you did any of this.
Oh,
I just,
yeah, no, I don't. Yeah. Only with Bet DSI.
I just know you about dog racing. You like that.
I do.
Me too. They get all sweaty and frothy.
Aaron Larsoul at Aaron Larsoul. So it's going to be a tough December. It's not like, oh, now Luke's going to be on the hot seat. Like, no, we knew this was coming up. That's why those losses to, Sacramento was really like...
And we talked about it earlier in the year that the beginning of the season was the easy part, and now here comes the Reaper. So
they have a very difficult schedule, by the way.
Yes.
I don't care where anybody puts it, but it's got to be up near the top third.
Well,
top third, certainly.
It's certainly about to be.
There's no gimme games,
Well, they've gotten to play Phoenix 3 times, which helps. Booker's been really good until CB comes in and puts a hurting on him.
When a Bookman from Good Times comes in, the landlord.
It'll be amazing.
This is America's Lakers podcast, my friends. We'll see you very, very soon. Lakers. There's the gold standard, Aaron, and then
there's the purple and gold standard.
We'll hit it, buddy, every time. Peace.
Thanks for listening to America's Lakers podcast with Jay Mohr, exclusively on Podcast One Sportsnet. New episodes every Wednesday on PodcastOne.com, the Podcast One app, or subscribe on Apple Podcasts.
Rush into Old Navy for gifts that keep giving, like cozy sweaters for the family. Today only, they're just $10 for adults, $8 for toddlers. But hurry, it's just one day only today at Old Navy and OldNavy.com. Valid 12/7, select styles only.